What's going on, guys? It's David here, and in this video I'm gonna break down 5 of the most popular YouTubers and tell you whether they're natty or whether they're using steroids based on some crucial analytical factors. Let's begin. So before we get into it, I just quickly want to say that this video is based purely on my observations of the information that's available to me. The truth is that there's no way to tell with 100% certainty whether or not a certain individual is using steroids. And on top of that, I also want to say that I'm not hating on any of these guys. All of them have put in hard work and built amazing bodies and very respectable businesses. Anyway, let's begin. The first dude I want to talk about is Christian Guzman. Now, the only evidence that he could potentially use steroids is that in some of his photos, he looks fucking amazing, like this photo, for example. But if you dig deeper, you'll find that this photo was taken with a full pump going after a workout and with absolutely perfect lighting just a couple days before one of his bodybuilding competitions, meaning that this is absolutely as lean as he gets, and he does not maintain this year-round. He only maintains this for a couple days. On top of that, there's a lot of other evidence that Senor Guzman does not use steroids. For example, the fact that in a lot of his photos while he's bulking, he gets pretty chubby as he's going up, which is something that most steroid users can avoid because their body's not going to put on fat the same way that a natural lifter would. Christian stands at about 6 feet and his weight fluctuates somewhere from around 160 to 180 or 90 pounds. If he was using steroids, I would expect him to weigh a lot more than just 160 pounds when he's stage lean. So based on all of this evidence, my verdict for Christian Guzman is 100% natty, bro. Alright, the second dude we're going to talk about is Bradley Martyn. So if we take it back to 2011, we have this photo of him at an NPC bodybuilding competition, and he already looks huge. He already looks kind of maybe like he's using steroids, but not 100% sure. And if you go from that, and now you look at some of his more recent photos, he's fucking blown up like a motherfucker. And the truth is that you're gonna make 90% of your gains in your first 2 or 3 years of lifting. So the fact that he was able to make such ridiculous gains after already lifting and competing at the highest level is very indicative that he probably hopped on some steroids. And even more evidence that he ain't natty would be that he's 6'3", which is tall, but I've seen reports that he weighs up to 260 pounds while maintaining this relative level of leanness, which is just ridiculous. You ain't gonna be that heavy and that lean unless you're juicing on something, bro. So my final verdict for Bradley Martyn is that he is not natty, and if I had to guess, I would say that he is using durabolin, an anabolic steroid that's known for giving you that intense muscle thickness that he shows and displays in all of his photos. Alright, next up is Kinobody, aka Greg O Gallagher. Now, the main reason that some people suspect that Greg might be using steroids is because in some of his photos, like this one, he looks very lean, yet his muscles still look very full. However, when you look at more and more of his photos or watch some of his videos, it's pretty clear that he's not super lean, and he's also not extraordinarily big, you know? He's definitely has muscle mass on him, but it's not something that you would turn your head at, even if you saw him in your own gym. On top of that, he's 5'10", and I've seen reports that he weighs, around 170 or 180 pounds, which is very reasonable for a full natty lifter, bro. So my verdict for Kinobody is that he's 100% natty. He's just been putting in hard work. I think he's been lifting for about 10 years, and he also has great genetics, similar to Christian Guzman. All right, next up we got Mr. Steve Cook, Gymshark athlete, ridiculously good-looking human being. Now, the evidence that Steve Cook uses steroids is basically that in a lot of his photos, he looks fucking huge and really fucking lean at the same time. On top of that, from reports that I've read, he's about 6'1" and 210 to 220 pounds, which is pretty heavy for being as lean as he is. Now, the evidence that he does not use steroids would be this old photo of him as a high school football player showing that he was already pretty big when he was in high school. And most natural lifters who have the ability to get huge, it tends to happen early on in their lifting career, so it could be that Steve Cook just has amazing genetics and he just packs on mass very easily. However, take a look at this photo where you see Steve Cook next to Christian Guzman, Bradley Martyn, and the other guy in the middle there is Omar Isuf, who's pretty widely accepted to be a natural lifter. And you can see that the size of Steve Cook and the size of Bradley Martyn is just ridiculously big next to guys like Christian Guzman and Omar Isuf, who are big natural lifters in their own right. So the evidence for Steve Cook is a little bit more cloudy than the other guys we've talked about, but if I had a gun to my head, I would say that he's not natty and that he is using something. And if I had to guess what steroid he uses or what steroid he used in the past, I would say dianabol or dianabol. And that's just because it's been shown to make you retain more water so it can give you that more natural look that a guy like Steve Cook has. Anyway, the last guy I'm gonna go over in this video is Matt Ogus. Now the evidence against Matt Ogus being a natty is that he's always incredibly lean, and his muscles, particularly his shoulders and his chest, they always have this dry 3D look to them that's very common and very indicative of steroid use. On top of that, he's only 5'5", and reports I've seen put him at about 180 pounds, which is very heavy for someone who's that short, given that he's also incredibly lean. Now the only evidence that would make him natty is that he's not incredibly huge, but the truth is that not all steroids blow you up like a motherfucking balloon. So for all of these reasons, my verdict for Matt Ogus is that he is not natty bro. And if I had to guess what steroid he's using, it would be Trenbolone, because it's known to give your muscles that 3D dry look that Matt Ogus shows in literally all of his photos. Anyway, those are my thoughts and my beliefs on these 5 YouTubers. Again, I'm not hating on them. I'm just analyzing the information that's available to me and giving you guys my opinion. And the reason I made this video is because I truly believe that steroid use is very prevalent, not just in fitness YouTubers and fitness models, but also in professional athletes. And because a lot of people don't know about this, it allows them to sort of set unrealistic expectations for yourself. And when you fail to achieve these results, that's when you can really get down on yourself and even quit lifting. Whereas at the end of the day, if you keep pushing yourself and you stay consistent, you can still build an amazing body like I showed you with Christian Guzman or with Kinobody. Anyway, let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Do you think I'm fucking crazy? Are you gonna come at me, bro? Or maybe you agree with me. Either way, let me know. And if you enjoyed the video, make sure you hit subscribe, because I release a brand new video every single Monday and every single Thursday. Otherwise, give this video a thumbs up. I'll see you in the next video. I better see you in the next video. I'm gonna be mad, bro. Stay beastly.